Just a quick reminder, and for any new viewers, I am working on a 1968 Datsun 520. We're putting an L20B engine in it that I am currently rebuilding. Before I push this thing in the hole, I just wanted to show you the progress. I got both fender aprons done. This is the passenger side, and that's the driver's side. No chance at all that I am stopping work on this project. What I did was get both fender aprons completed. Now when I get started back working on this car, it'll be like a whole new project because I'll be working on a different section, most likely the core support. This car is a marathon, a total restoration, so I don't want to lose interest in it, so I'm taking just little breaks in between sections. Enough yapping, let's carry on with the 520 engine rebuild project. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee, without a doubt at your service. Anytime you have a project just sitting around, it becomes a storage bin. So I've got to get rid of the parts I'm not going to need. Dottie's going to be getting an organ transplant. That is a new heart, but it's going to be a while. She is on a waiting list for that, but her old heart is coming out today. This is a great little engine, but it's underpowered for what I'm wanting to do. I really want to be able to tow my boat, and I think an L20B will tow a boat. The radiator is being sold with this unit. If you'll remember, they don't make a radiator for a J13 anymore, so I had to modify this one to work, and I sold it with the engine so that whoever bought it would have a good radiator. There she is. She's been a good one. The original J13 has left the building, and there's a 4-speed in here. I'm going to remove that, and we're going to put a 5-speed in it. The chassis on this truck has been completely gone through. The front end, the frame's been painted, all of that. Even though the body looks horrible, the floors are solid. With an engine and transmission installed, we will have a driver. This B210 is going to get a fuel-injected engine. This 520, a carburetor. Let's have a debate in the comments section. Somebody convince me without a doubt that one system is better than the other. This is not the head I'm using, but I'm trying to get the best valves out of this head and the one I'm using. I'm hoping between both heads I can get a set of valves that aren't pitted and rusted. Some people may wonder, why aren't you getting new valves and getting a valve job done? And that would be because I am poor. Small parts, bolts, stuff like that, I've been putting them in carburetor cleaner, and then I rinse them off in gas, and now I'll blow them off and they'll be nice and clean. I'll show you a little before and after on the valve lapping. This is what the valve looks like now. And there's the seat. I like to put a little bit of oil on the stem so that you're just not dry. Grinding compound. Now for a little lapping. Now let's take a peek. Showed up better on the exhaust valve. See that little gray line going around the valve? That's your sealing surface. You're looking for the same nice even line on the seat. And some nice clean fresh oil. Could use assembly lube, but I'm running out. Put oil anywhere you want when you're rebuilding an engine. I'm doing this because I'm going to put the washers on here, steel washers. Smaller ones for the inner. Oh no, no. I messed up. I gotta take these valve stem seals off. As I was saying, smaller ones for the inner springs. Now the smaller washers, and then I will reinstall the seals. Inner springs, outer springs. Now I've got to snap these keepers on. Oh, almost. Oh. I think if I just get the camera out of my face and pay attention to what I'm doing, it'll work better. That's on. I have other valve installation tools, but this one's the quickest and easiest for me. If you are a regular viewer, you know how this engine got to this point because I showed it in previous videos. You also know why I am showing putting these dowel pins in. Apex gasket, is that any good? I feel like I've heard that name before, but I can't remember. Little oil on all the threads and up here on the washers to achieve proper torque. You want everything to slip nice and easy as it torques down. Would somebody like to explain to me why they don't have lock washers on engine parts? They just have a torque. These are just flat washers as far as I can tell. Some of the head bolts go through the cam holder, so I've got to get these installed first. I kept all of these parts in order because they say that once they wear a certain way, it'll kind of stay. I don't know what they say. I was just snugging these cam caps down evenly, lightly, slowly, but this one just keeps spinning, so need to put a Healy coil in there. There is nobody who wants to deal with this. Put some Loctite on these threads. Should have just done this on the bench to start with. I was trying to work on this head while it was on the engine. I forgot it wasn't bolted down. It slipped off and I scratched the head right there. That's a bad spot to scratch it too. Anyways, I sanded it ever so slightly and I think it's gonna pass. I got the gasket right here a little bit too. I still think it'll be fine, but I don't like it. "60 foot-pounds, you start in the middle, crisscross your way out." I always go in steps. I went 20, 40, 60. Assembly lube. I don't think this is the best stuff. It seems kind of thin, but everybody uses it because it's cheap probably. The pistons are all halfway down the block, so I'm going to spin the camshaft just to make sure it's running smooth. I got the camshaft gear on and the timing chain. There is a number 1 right here, 2, 3. The number 1 points up, and then there's a number 1 here where your bright link goes. Go down here, and if it's on top dead center, then there'll be a dot here on the bottom gear with a bright link that goes to it. I'll just whoop it on over a time or two to make sure the valves don't hit or something weird is going on. I don't think there is, but it's good just to roll it over anyways when you got the timing chain put on. I did also adjust the valves off camera. Rolled over just fine, and one final check, I just like to put the keyway straight up on the crankshaft. There is a mark inside of this hole down in there that should line up, and if those line up, then you're all still in time, which I know I am, because the bright link has moved. It's not going to stay in the same spot. Now just a little dab of silicone up in the corners. I've been watching old Johnny Datsun on YouTube and Mean Gene. They are in New York, my home state. If you haven't seen them, check them out. They got some cool Datsuns. Oh, I just messed the gasket up. F-bomb. Come on, man. I know better. Dang it, Johnny. Look what you did to me. I'm blaming him for this. I'll try her again, and this time pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm really not a hack, I swear. Front cover's bolted down. I think I'll tap a few freeze plugs in. Some people would intentionally put all of the words straight across like this, or whatever's on here straight across, and they would consider themselves more professional. But I stagger them on purpose. So who's more professional and what job's done right and what's not? Remember, my stagger is intentional. I've been dreading this. Supposedly on the internet it says we need the oil pan and pickup off of an L16, and that's what this is on a 521. But I don't think we do. I don't think this is gonna happen because I don't see what the difference is. I'm gonna take a few measurements here. I've got my measurements. I'm gonna go back and see if there's any difference. I don't see any difference. I don't get it. Let's see, 7. That's right, and then it was 6. Approximately 6. I don't get it. Looks like the same pan to me. I don't care what the internet says. I'm gonna use this pan. I already prepped it too. It's got OSPO on it. It's been cleaned up. OSPO, it's ready to paint. Because I'm not 100% sure about the oil pan, I'm just gonna put it on without a gasket and only a few bolts, just for mock-up purposes. My poor little vintage pop-top camper, she is still on the list. As you know, I got to retrofit it to this truck because it was for my long bed 620. Look at the angle of the camper. Remember, I matched it to the truck and I was all concerned about that. And now, maybe it needs to be straight, but I think I'm going to leave it. What's you guys' opinion on that? One drive shaft removed. My beautiful custom stainless steel exhaust system. The only thing we're going to be able to use is a muffler. The pipe's too small. What a shame. Tragedy has hit the homestead. I can't believe this has happened. I must have rolled this into something and dented it. Big time. She will never be the same, and I don't think I can get another set of these. Wah. I'm getting old, but I am still gangster, yo. I've got my cutoff wheel and wasper spray. I measured the frame on both of the trucks and they're 22 inches wide, so I don't see why I can't just cut these brackets off right here, cut them off the other truck, bolt these brackets to the engine mounts on the engine, and then just set it down on the frame. Some of you may know why I can or can't, but I'm getting ready to find out. I forgot my hammer. No waspers yet. You know, there's mud daubers around here. Do mud daubers eat waspers? Oh. These are the mounts I have to cut off of this truck. That one right there. And that one right there, and they seem much heavier duty than the ones on the other truck, which is odd because it was a lot smaller and lighter weight engine. They're out, but they didn't come easy. They were tough, welded on all 4 sides. I'm so excited to see how this engine fits. I mounted the motor mounts on there and the part of the frame. The mounts are mounted to that, so like I said, I could set this down on the frame and see where it lands. Both sides are done. I'm trying to be careful. I taped up all the holes because I don't want dirt and stuff getting my new engine. The valve cover and the oil pan still have to come back off. The engine obviously has to be cleaned up a little bit and painted still. It's in, looking good. The mounts will have to be modified, but they are helpful because I'm able to line things up, like the angle and all of that. Here's the other side, and I probably should have used the other truck frame mounts because it had an L16 in it, and it's a 521 Datsun, so the frame might be a closer fit. I bet it is. But I can modify these mounts and make it fit in there just fine. These engine mounts are a lot easier, I think, to get a hold of than the other ones. I really need to get the transmission out and bolt it up to this before I do anything solid. I just wanted to see how it's going to fit in there. And by the way, I don't see an issue with the oil pan just yet, unless it's going to be make the engine too tall. I did drain the fluid in it, and it was pretty good looking. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Still a little dirty, but I did pressure wash this thing so that we could mock it up. There's an engine crossbar in the front, then there's a cross member here back in the back, and the transmission doesn't fit in it, so I gotta tip it up to get it in there. Otherwise I gotta remove that, and I don't want to. Everything's been getting scratched up and I hate it. The transmission is just ratchet strapped in place. Now I'll attach it to the engine. I should have already done this, but better late than never. We are in a great spot. Let me show you. Here's the transmission. I've got a little spacer right here for clearance. Up here where the oil pan is, I have a board right there for clearance. Up here in the front, there is clearance for the steering rod. Plenty of clearance. The tunnel is tight in one spot, and I can't tell. It's hard to tell if it's going to be all right or not. I think it will be, and if I have to, at most, probably just bump it up a little bit with a nice rubber hammer or something. I still can't see an issue with the original L20B oil pan. It seems to be fitting fine so far. So here's the engine. I got it held up with that for now so that I can work on these mounts easily, and I can adjust it up or down if I have to. The firewall, it's close back there, but I think it's very good. See, it's a tight, very tight clearance. And the transmission right there, I'm gonna have to do some clearancing for the cab, but nothing serious. Just gonna take a little minor work so I get clearance so I don't have rubs and noises and stuff like that. Everything really is looking good, and now it's time to modify these mounts a little bit and get them welded up onto the frame. The transmission mount will have to be dealt with, which looks to be pretty easy. Hood clearance is a concern. I know this has been done before, but I don't know if I'm doing it the same way that it's been done. Right there you've got, looks like my pinky finger clearance. And there's a bracket on the hood. But what I'm thinking is, if I have to, I'll notch the bracket on the hood. I've been so busy with projects, I hadn't been able to ride my little motorbike, but that's okay. If it's too hot, too cold, too wet, or I'm feeling too old, I can tune in to Cliff Fawcett, A Ride in the Country on YouTube, and we can go for a ride in the evening while I'm resting. Feeling pretty good about it. This is a good spot to be. Everybody will say, oh, that's an easy engine swap. Well, it's not to me. It takes time, takes effort. I scratch the frame up and stuff that I already painted. Things like that can be frustrating. I wish I could get a lot more work done and make more videos, like post once a week, but I just can't. I'm not that fast and I'm not that good. For all the newcomers and everyone that stays with me, I greatly appreciate it. If you don't mind, hit that hype button. You can hit it up to 3 times, and I think it helps. I already know you guys hit the like button, leave comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.